Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another Forza Motorsport video. Now, if you've played Forza in the last week or so, you may have had the misfortune of seeing this. That's right, X-Class open lobbies. I mean, has a more terrifying sentence ever been uttered? I don't think so. So let's get into the first race and see how these races go, shall we? Okay, so jumping into the first race here. Now this was literally the first race that I did in the X-Class Open lobbies, and I already knew that the F1 cars were going to be meta, and so I tried to use something different, and I went for the 919 Evo because I was really hoping this car might at least be somewhat competitive against the F1 cars. But as you'll see in this race, it really isn't, unfortunately. I mean, there are no cars that can compete with the F1 cars. You literally have to use them if you want to not come quite literally last, which is a real shame because I hate, these X-Class races have basically become F1 races because that's all anyone can use now, which is a real shame. But as you'll see, I have quite a good start here. I went to 4th, purely because other people cannot drive those F1 cars to save their lives. However, it all unravels at this corner, as you'll see. So I get rammed in the back there, spun round, hit the barrier, and I get literally just stuck to the barrier there. And then I reversed onto the track because I assumed that the game would ghost me, but it just didn't, so I just reversed across the track there, got smacked again by another car. And finally I get back onto the track in 13th place. But as you'll see, skipping to the end of the race here, I'm down in last, and I'm 10 seconds behind the next player. And that is purely down to the lack of pace that the 919 has compared to the F1 cars. I mean, it is so much slower. Look at the lap times. I'm lapping 1:34 and the quickest guys are lapping in 1:26. So that's 8 seconds difference. So anyway, coming into the second race here, I bit the bullet and I bought the McLaren F1 car because I just thought if I'm going to have any chance of having a good race in this lobby, I'm going to need an F1 car. So yeah, I did what had to be done and I'm in a McLaren for this race. Now, this is an interesting one. As you can see, pretty much everyone in the F1 cars because they're the only things that are competitive. There's a couple of LMP cars up ahead that they'll just fall down the pack straight away. But this is an interesting race because there are a couple of incidents that could well have been my fault and pretty much ruined two people's races. But we'll have a look at them a bit later, see what you decide whether they were my fault or not. Now, up to 6th place now, having overtaken those two cars, so not a bad start, and we've got a couple of cars in front of us. Now you'll see there, I've got a tune on this McLaren that makes the top speed really, really good. Now, unfortunately they're getting pushed wide by that Porsche. Getting just onto the gravel there, and it really does suck you off, which is a fate worse than death, as Super GT often says, and it's very true. You do not want to get sucked off, trust me. So yeah, unfortunately down to 10th place, although a bit of a crash up ahead of us, so we did make up a few places. And we've got this Ferrari on the left of us, but you'll see he's going to back out there, which is probably wise around that corner. And we've got a car that went off there. Luckily, I managed to avoid him on the inside. Had I taken the normal racing line, I probably would have hit him. So, the F1 cars, what do they like to drive? Well, they are a handful and they are very quick. And they are very skittish. They do just kind of get a bit loose around corners and on the accelerator. So as a whole, they are pretty hard to drive. And what that means is that people tend to lose control of them quite a lot and go into the back of each other, onto the side of each other. So there are a lot of crashes in these lobbies. And it's kind of a bit of a shame because you can't really, there's no racing side by side. Like me and this guy there, I'm not going to try and race right next to him because it will end badly and there will be a crash. So you do have to just make your moves like that, although there is the first incident that I was talking about. So let's have a look at this in slow motion. Now, I was turning right there. You can see I was definitely turning right. And I was fairly close to the inside of the corner. And I think it looks as if he turned into me, not expecting me to be there. And it was a bit of a dive up the inside. So it's kind of fair enough that he turns in, taking the racing line, expecting me to not be there. and all of a sudden I am. But yeah, take a look at that one again if you want to, and let me know in the comments what you think. Now, there I just make a complete rookie mistake, go off the track there, and as I said before, the grass sucks you off, and that's what happens. So I had like a 6-second gap to this guy behind, but he's now caught up with me, Killian there in the Ferrari. Now coming on to the 6th lap, he's 0.3 seconds behind, so he's pretty close, well within the slipstream range. And there he kind of just like barges past me. I wasn't too happy with that move, to be honest. It wasn't the cleanest move I've ever seen. So looking to get past him now, and I do. The straight line speed of this McLaren, get past him, a little bit of contact, but kind of neither one of us our fault. However, I get really sideways on the exit there, and so that's going to allow him to get ahead. Now, look here, I get a crazy boost of speed there. I look up the inside, I'm there for a little while, and he still turns in on me. So you'll see, kind of the same thing as earlier. I'm on the inside, I'm turning right, I'm pretty much as far on the inside as I can get, and he just turns in on me, and that kicks him out onto the grass, and he falls back. So again, it was a late dive from me. Although I kind of feel like he had enough time with me on the inside to see me there and not turn in on me, but he does anyway. So there you go, let me know what you guys think about that race and those two incidents. And that is going to do it for this video. So let me know what you guys think about this X-Class. Personally, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more races in it. It wasn't particularly fun. It's so chaotic. There's so many crashes, and getting through a race cleanly is just impossible. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to have a couple more videos coming out in the next kind of 4 or 5 days, so look out for them, and I will catch you guys later.